In this video, I'll show you how to connect all the MiniMiner hardware and then just see if it runs before you put it together. This is a nice tool. It's called a lap dock. So through a single USB-C, I'll get video, keyboard, and mouse. It runs nice, cool 70 watts. So let's put on our fan mount. So these are going to go here. So the fan, we're not going to cover where the graphics card will be. We're moving the fan over the hard drive. Now this board is fragile. You don't want to push too hard. It's like a laptop board, where it's really thin. But once it's in the frame, it'll be very strong. Just treat it delicately. You don't push really hard. Also bear in mind you got a lot of components on the bottom. So don't be knocking it around. You'll knock stuff off. Actually, it's probably better to put it on some foam. Mount our fan. Let's mount our 8 GB memory sticks. These memories only go one way. You want to match the notch. So not that way. Flip it over. The notch matches, and just grab it from the bottom and you can push. It pushes right in. Match your notch. You can also use the levers. The levers can help push it in too. I like to just grab it from the bottom. That way I'm not twisting the board. Memory's in. You want to mount your SSD on the inner one. Notice the SSD has one notch right there. Don't get the one with the 2 notches, it won't work. And they go up a little bit and then in. And then you pull off this tab. And then that holds it down. Here's our Wi-Fi. So the Wi-Fi is just going to plug in right to the USB. As I was saying, you're going to use these USBs. Don't use these, they're not very good quality. And then here's the USB-C. Now the fan, I have on the parts list, this is a very powerful fan. It'll do 2,000 RPMs. And I like removing this guard. You don't really need it, and it just takes up space. So you want to carefully cut off the heat shrink. And you can do it without nicking your wires. And then I just cut off the armor with a pair of scissors. The fan is labeled CPU. CPU fan. We'll put the wire over there. and the airflow is blowing down. So I'll just plug it in temporarily right now. And I'm not even going to bother with the screws, not yet. So here's the modified power supply where I just have the wires that I need. Now these are hard to plug when they're new. They're really tight. And the only way to unplug them is to use a screwdriver on there. So notice I'm squeezing the motherboard, plugging it in. But when I need to unplug it, I got to pry it with a screwdriver. And then it's labeled CPU. And notice the lever goes on the latch. Squeeze that in. Now these power supplies, you got to be careful. They hold a lot of energy. So even when it's unplugged, this board's going to be hot and you can blow things up. Just keep that in mind. If you're going to be messing with the board, turn it on, try to power the board to drain the power supply capacitors because they can hold energy for several minutes. So now let's check it out. Just make sure our motherboard is alive. We're going to connect our lap dock, power that on. USB-C. We're going to plug into USB-C here. And now let's power it up. So the pins are these first two. We'll plug in a switch. And they're labeled. So now let's power up. So our fan starts. And let's see what we get on our lap dock. So we got our MinisForum and we got our setup. So our motherboard works, our power supply works. Let's go ahead and build the frame. I have another video for that. A safe way to power down where you know you're discharging energy is just pull the plug. And then it's going to drain down. And now there's no voltage at all. I'm going to go ahead and unplug this. But rather than just grab it and rip, I'm going to push the lever and then use a screwdriver and pry it open. When they're new, they're really tight. Get it started with that little screwdriver there. And now I can get a bigger screwdriver in there, pry that open. And even the CPU plug is pretty tight. I'm going to use a little screwdriver and then the big one. All right. Now let's build the frame and put it together.